Yo, Curtis, what's up?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I apologize, I'm on my phone today. I'm off-site right now, so...
That's fine, because it looks like you're in a hotel room.
Yeah, I'm at GDQ right now, so I'm like...
Oh, what is that? Is that like a con or whatever?
Yeah, so it's Games Done Quick. It's like a speedrunning conference, and we're just showing off our video game as like an exhibitor. But took some time to take care of this.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate it. If it's, I hope it's not inconveniencing you or whatever.
No, you're fine, man. I try to help everyone, kind of thing.
Yeah, no, I mean, I appreciate it because, like I said, I just like to talk to people. Obviously, that's why I started podcasting, was mainly to share my story. But when I started realizing, like, when I joined the GGL, and I'm like, I want to, like, know these people because, people, we know each other as, like, when you're in a Discord or, on Twitch, it's like a gamer tag or it's a, or it's like a Twitch handle or just a Discord handle, and people are like, because I honestly don't know a whole ton about you. I know about you winning the Tetris tournament and all that stuff, but I honestly, like I said, I see you like passing in there, and I guess after everything that happened to me and my new path and stuff and my new life that I'm on, I want to like actually talk to people and get to know people. So it's not just like a like a Discord name or a Twitch handle, because like you think about all these people that you will never even know the existence of. You know what I mean? You gotta get the perfect picture.
You said this was for video and podcast, so I try to.
Absolutely. But I have this feeling like I know I can't touch everybody in the world or meet everybody in the world, but I sometimes when I walk, I think, and it's like, there's somebody across the world that will never have crossed paths. And then when you run into people that you do, like the stuff that led up to me and like meeting my late girlfriend or a friend or anybody in here or any of that kind of stuff, you're like, there's so many other people that you don't, and I would love to like be able to just at some point or another, whether it's through a podcast, whether it's gaming in a tournament, on a league, down the street, is at least be like, now you can say that, you, like, I was in your life, like you knew I existed in your life and you existed in mine. You know what I mean? And so like you being in a GGL, I really don't know a whole lot about you other than I've seen you in there. I know sometimes in the morning when I'm doing my editing and stuff like that, you pop in and chill, and I don't even 100% know exactly what you're doing. And I know we've talked a little bit. So really, like, and for me, like, this isn't an interview, right? I don't podcast interviews. It's like if you're coming to my house and hanging out. In this case, you're in a hotel room and I'm in my room, right? But I just like to talk to people because I don't think we talk to people, like, with people on just a level and get to know them. It's like, oh, yeah, he's in the GGL. Oh, yeah, he won the Tetris. Oh, that. But, yeah, he has a story, too. Like, everybody has a story. So I don't know a lot about you, so I'm gonna let you just like talk to me and whoever. Like, I want to know about Curtis, what your story is.
Yeah, no worries. I also invite you to definitely, I don't want to say play 20 questions, but my life is very full in the nicest way possible. So like, you're gonna find more and more stuff the more that you ask.
Okay, and I have some stuff. Like I said, I have stuff that I use as like guide points. But it's like I really want it to be like we're just chilling. You came over to my house. I have mics set up, and I want to share your story with people. And then through the course of that conversation, it could be questions. But it's not like a strict interview. You're not on a hot seat. It's just two people. And in this case, I don't know you that well. I invited you over. Like, let's talk, and then go from there or whatever. For whatever time you have. I know you said you gotta squeeze us in here.
So essentially, I gotta go back to the booth in less than 90 minutes, or like 85 minutes. So if we hit it under 90 minutes, we're good.
Hi, Violet. Cool shit. All right, so you get to take the reins. Just tell me some stuff, and then I'll, like, what's your story? Like, where did you grow up? What are you doing? Like, what are you doing there?
You're recording and stuff?
Yeah, it's gonna go on. I'm gonna have the VOD on Twitch. It's on Twitch and YouTube, and then I'll be recording it. So
we are live. Cool. Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Curtis Tran. I am a 5-time competitor of American Ninja Warrior. I work as a broadcast producer for some of the largest reality competition shows in the world, as well as I am now becoming a game developer for one of our first games for Icefall Creative. Some of the things I do for fun, I used to enjoy DJing a lot. I also enjoy athletics, and then I'm really stupid good at video games. I used to be one of the top 10 North America Mario Kart 8 Deluxe players. I used to be a top 100, I'm still a top 100 Tetris player, rated Grandmaster 1, about to get my Grandmaster 2 test done. And I tend to do a lot of weird stuff. Weird stuff including, for example, I had a DJ battle against Diplo in which I won. That was during COVID, so it was a remote DJ battle, which was kind of weird, awkward, and he didn't like that. But it is what it is.
Right. That's amazing. So what did you say about like the American Ninja Warrior again? You're like a producer?
No. So both. So I got to compete on the show for 5 years.
Okay.
And then after competing on it, I got to work with them for a little bit. Got to learn how good and bad TV shows are, and I used that experience to start working on other TV shows like America's Got Talent, and then I became a producer for some major shows or whatnot. So like you'll see me on the credits for like Chestnut versus Kobayashi Unfinished Beef on Netflix, or you'll see me on like Relative Race or stuff like that, and a lot of stuff that I'm not on the credits on because they don't want me to share it.
I was gonna say, yeah, like I don't know what shows that you can tell us and what you can't not, but you said America's Got Talent. I freaking like absolutely love that show, and just to talk about one of my favorite seasons. And are you still currently on it, or you did work on it?
No. I did work on it. That's a long time ago. I think that was about 12 years ago now.
Okay.
I'm yeah.
How was that experience though? What was it like? Like, what did you? Because I don't know anything like that. So you like, what was it like working on TV shows and stuff?
It's too fathom. Like, you're working with some of the smartest and most passionate people who are not only like motivated to do well, they also have a lot of business sense, and they want to get it rich. They all want to progress in life and do something awesome with it. The issue with that is when you have those kinds of people all in a room, stressed out, spending tens of billions of dollars on this stuff, it gets really stressful, and you're fighting with other people who want to do well. That's great for you because you get to excel at what you do, but on the flip side, you're constantly being pressured to do better.
That's great. So how did you get into that stuff? Like,
yeah. So like I went to college for computer science, and I was just like failing, like full out. I think I got almost kicked out of University of Colorado Springs. And while I was doing that, that's when I started competing on American Ninja Warrior. And one day on set, I was just like, these guys look like they're having more fun than me. Like, why don't I just work for them? So I asked them for a job, and they gave me a PA job, almost like an internship. And I got to travel for one entire season with them. Got to learn exactly what TV is and kind of like the basics of it. And I used that knowledge to kind of move on up from there.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I get like inspired by like people like you. That's why I want to talk to you people, because I'm trying to do things at like a seasoned age of 53. I don't know if you know. I'm sure you know and have been in some of the podcasts and heard like my previous story. So it's just amazing that like, and people tell me like, hey man, things can happen even at that age. Mike told me a story about someone that they didn't even start this thing until they were like 59, and so like I still get inspired, and it doesn't matter that like I'm older, I should be wiser and this or that, but I mean, with my life history, it didn't work out that way. So like I get inspired by like, people like you, and that's why I want to sit and talk to people like you, because it blows my mind, because I know a big reason why like I let things go by was clearly, the alcohol or whatever. And it's like, I wonder what opportunities, I would have like had I like looked at them and seen them and stuff like that. And looking at people like you that like from the get-go probably had their mindset on things like that. It's inspiring for me to go like, hey, I can still do it. It might be a little bit rougher and stuff like that. So go ahead.
Yeah. So like it's interesting because like we always assume that people always have that opportunity to like do well, and we always like to judge individuals and be like, oh, it's their fault they're not where they're at, or they fucked it up at the beginning. But there's so many instances I've seen, including myself, where it's just like you rolled bad RNG, you got stuck in a bad environment, or someone never taught you. Like, no one ever taught me about business, so I had to learn. I'm 35 now, and I'm just learning about LLCs, how to do my taxes, how to deal with lawyers, how to, you know, license stuff and whatnot. So it's like, you know, I always try to give people benefit of the doubt when it comes to that, because I wish that whether it's our educational system or just parents or whatever, just gave our future opportunities and was able to give them the knowledge to do better, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
For my story, as like when I was a kid, I had a nicest way possible. This is going to get really scientific. I used to have a brother who had white matter muscular leukodystrophy. In English, imagine, you know how like your nervous system, there's like the white rubber around it, if that makes sense.
No,
imagine having a degenerative disease that slowly erodes that. So soon enough, what started as like a normal 3-year-old kid eventually went from like a walker to a wheelchair to electric wheelchair to bedridden to total needs child to eventually passing away kind of thing. So it's like, when I was in that situation, it's like I was total needs care. I didn't get a chance to go out and learn about this stuff. I never got to hang out with friends or whatnot. So it's like, and then I don't want to make this a depressing story, obviously, but once once things happened and he moved on, that's when I kind of just started doing everything I ever wanted to do in life. So it's like, that's probably why I'm so YOLO-ish, and I'm just like, oh, fuck it, let's just do it. What's the worst that's going to happen?
Yeah, I mean, and that's a good attitude, and like, yeah, I think, like you said, it's about like a product of your environment and stuff, that places that are people in. It's just, I just wonder like what opportunities I would have had, because I literally have only been doing podcasting and streaming. I started streaming last August, and then I thought a couple months after that, when I started getting healthier, I was like, I want to, the world seems like very surrealistic.
Okay.
That, going from like, they had a priest coming into the hospital room telling my family to call my daughter and say their goodbyes, right, to, being, alive and, relearning everything. But it's like the world around looked different, and I'm like, I know how I was, and I'm not trying to make this about me, I'm just kind of trying to transition back, but it was like, I wasn't a good person. I'm not saying I was bad. Like, I didn't do, like terrible crimes and stuff like that. I just wasn't good to people. It was the drinking and stuff like that. And I missed, relationships and friendships and connections and stuff like that because of that. And so I started looking at things more in a different light, that like I wanted to be like better to people, right? And get to know people and stuff like that. Because whether I put myself in that environment, and then there were some things that were out of my control, it doesn't change the fact that I feel like I wonder what would have happened, and I have to transition from that mentality. And by talking to like people like you and a lot of people in the GGL, Mike, it inspires me, and it helps me like see things in a different light. I mean, I still see the world, I don't want to say surrealistic, but I appreciate, I think, it a lot more. I did just lose my girlfriend and stuff like that, and I don't think people are looking at things where they're not appreciating things like as much. It's like being taken for granted and stuff like that, and I'm trying to like appreciate things. And like I told you at the beginning, like I really wish that I could talk to everybody in the world, even for 30 seconds, so we existed in each other, you know what I mean? That it's not just a soul passing somewhere, that, or that maybe there's something that in those 30 seconds that they can give to me, or that I can share to them and stuff like that. And so, that's why I like do this and stuff like that, because I want to meet like new people and talk to new people and get something from them. And, like you said, you're 35, I'm 53, I'll be 54 this year. And I'm just kind of trying to traverse a world that like you're like entrenched in and stuff like that. So it's very inspiring to talk to like people like you. And that's why I don't always like say like I don't want to interview you. I just really want to talk to you and then be like, hey, like I know like this guy, yeah, Curtis, oh yeah, he does this and he does that. It's not just oh, he won a Tetris tournament and he's some dude in the GGL. Like, you know what I mean? Like, give a personality. Yeah. And I think a lot of people don't see that too. They're just like, oh, the guy that won the Tetris. Well, the guy has a story too, right? And like, I think I want to know. I think maybe it's selfish. I want to know more about the name behind the gamer tag and the Discord handle, and not just be someone that passes by and I see a few comments and then you at that comment and then that's it. Like, I want to know, like, oh yeah, Curtis, I know he was heading out, he's at this con in Vegas or whatever, blah blah blah. And then, like, there's stuff that I can learn from you, and I think I just get really inspired. I call people legends a lot, because after I got sick and I came out and I started joining the GGL and meeting all you people, I came out with a quote that says, like, it takes one person to think you're a legend to be legendary. And you might not sit there. I mean, you might be sitting there and I'm going to say, like, to me, you're a legend. The things that you do, winning the tournament, the stuff that you do, you worked on all these shows, you're a good, smart guy. To me, that's legendary, and you're a legend. And some people, and you might go like, well, no. I go, well, yeah. And it just takes that one person to think you are, and you're legendary now, because, that person thought I was a legend. And for me, for someone that went through what I did, to give you context, it's like, the littlest things to me mean the world to me. Like, talking to you is like a legendary experience for me. And, even you might sit there and actually go, yeah, you're right, I am a freaking legend. Or you might be like, no, I'm just a guy. But to me, that's not the case, especially how I look at the world, or try to look at the world now, that talking to you is like an actual awesome experience. I'm just a guy in a room that I feel like, and people are like, well, no, you're not. And I go, and talking to people like you is like, I have this guy, that did this and did this and all this great stuff. I mean, he worked on America's Got Talent, and he's talking to me, right? I never had like opportunities like, so this is pretty cool. And so that's definitely why I wanted to talk to you, and so people would get to know more about you, because look at the effect you have on just one person. So it's pretty cool.
No, I totally get it. There's actually I wouldn't say a funny story, but like, there's I used to make like Ninja Warrior fan videos when I was a kid, like before I started competing and stuff, and like, I deleted those videos obviously, because when I started dating a girl, it was embarrassing. Whatever.
Right. Like, somewhere out there.
I came back to compete like last year in for the 2025 season, and literally out of nowhere, zero idea who this is, but these two kids came up to me from the audience, and they literally were like calling me down, saying thank you for coming back, and they were like, we loved watching your videos and got us into the sport. I'm like, who the fuck are you guys? Where did you guys come from? Like, I never showed that off, and you guys remember that from 15 years ago, and now you guys are doing cool things. And the reason I say that is just because, like, you never know what you can do to inspire someone, and even if you think it's not much, even something small could turn into a big thing later on. So that's all I wanted to say there.
No, and that's cool. I mean, and you're right, and that's kind of, you probably said it a little more eloquently than I did, or in a few words, because I talk a lot on a podcast. But no, I mean, I totally agree. And my late girlfriend had told me, when I would get, because I get down on myself, and I'm like, people aren't coming around, I don't have a big following yet, and I still have to outgrow that mentality of being so hard on myself, but I do. And then she would tell me, she goes, you told me the story about the guy that came in and heard your story, and then 50 days later he came back and he was like, hey buddy, I'm sober for 50 days. And then he came back 6 months later and he said, I've only drank twice in those 6 months. And it was because, and he told me it was because when you were talking and I saw and I listened to your story, it made me kind of stop and think. And, and I've changed the way I do that, and stuff like that. And, when I talk about alcohol, I never want people to feel like, you're dumb for doing it. It's just take care of yourself, right? I'm not saying don't drink, and I'm not ever saying any of this. I'm just saying take care of yourself. So when he came back, like, and he told me that, and I was like, well, you're the one that has to make all the decision. I can't take credit for that. I'm too humble. But I'm very happy that my story helped you with that. And then she told me, see, that right there is, you touched one person, and he probably went and told somebody, and she's like, you could be touching thousands of lives, and even though you don't have 1,000 followers in your in your Twitch chat, that doesn't mean that one moment didn't, touch like 1,000 people in one form or another. So, that's the same as, as things like this. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. And so having you come on and stuff like that is pretty cool. And when I get more and more people coming in on the GGL, it makes me feel good because, one, I get to share you guys with people that other people in the GGL don't, in the Discord, just see you as a name. It's like, now you're not just a name. Like, let's not all be a bunch of names scrolling by in the chat. Let's be a bunch of personalities, like, scrolling by in the chat. You know what I mean? So, but I wanted to ask you, what was it like? When did you compete? And how did you do? Because I'm wondering, because I used to watch American Ninja Warrior, not like religiously, but like, TV was on, I would watch the shows and go, wow, this is cool. But when did you compete how did you do? Like, how did you do on the show?
Okay, so I obviously, the most recent season I competed for 2025. Oh, sure. I did the worst ever. It's probably because of rust and some other factors, but I got to the second obstacle and I was scared. I was in my mind when I was on the obstacle, imagine something that you're hanging on and flying in midair and catching something. I was like, right. I haven't done this like 5-10 years. I need to go 100%. I'm not going to fail because I got lazy and just tried to grab it. So I flew as hard as I can. I flew with the strength of 8 feet. It was only a 5 feet distance, so I smashed my face into the obstacle, got knocked out midair, landed in the pool. Medics had to yank me out, and then I was kind of like dazed for a good half day or whatever until it was like the doctors let me go. So
that was all on the show.
They didn't show the doctor part.
No, I'm sure not that part, but they did show the rest of the part.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I was so mad. I mean, I was happy they showed it because I went 100%. You better show that.
Well, I'm glad you're okay, and yeah, you went 100%. You left it all out there, literally, right? And that's amazing.
I was bleeding on the right side of my face. I punctured my teeth through my lip.
Ow!
So the scar is still here, but you can't see it anymore. It's finally freaking healed. But for like a good 6 months, you just saw like a white dot just chilling on my lips the whole time.
Dude, that's crazy. Well, one, I'm glad you're okay.
Oh yeah.
I mean, but the thing is, it's a story, right? And you went 100%. It wasn't like you hurt yourself because you something happened because you half-assed it or didn't put your all into it, and then it's like, God dang it, if I had gone 100%, so I mean that part's cool, but we're glad you're okay. That's crazy, and I didn't realize it was just that recently, man. That's crazy.
Yeah. It's not a sob story. I fucking I love it. I was so happy to just be out there and
it's a cool story, man. It's like a cool story, right? With somebody like me that has some pretty major scars, right? Scars tell stories, and even if you still had it and somebody goes, what's that scar? That scar has a story, and it's a cool story. I was on Ninja Freak. It wasn't like I slipped on my, the milk I poured out of my cereal bowl running in the morning. It's like I was on American Ninja Warrior and smashed my face in an obstacle thing because I was going 100%. That's a cool story. That's the kind of story you want to have, right? How many people get to have that story? Not many people, and you have that story. Whether it ended the way it did with some doctors, it's still an amazing story that you get to have, and I think that's freaking amazing because I'm big on stories. Clearly, I love stories. So,
yeah.
That's awesome, dude. That's freaking cool. So, how did you do on the other seasons? How many seasons were you on? You said 5?
5. Yeah, so the most recent one is obviously when I came back to the show, but I competed back in seasons 3 through 6, I believe. So that was about 10 years ago or whatnot, and every season I had bad luck. I'm talking horrific bad luck. I remember one season I got one obstacle before the warped wall, and the rope got caught in my legs, kind of tied behind. Around it, so when I went to swing, it yanked me back, and I just fell in the water. There's one season it snowed it was 18 degrees in Denver, Colorado, and they had an upper body obstacle, and I'm sticking bones, so everything froze. I couldn't feel anything, and I'm here trying to hang and do stuff, and I just fell because I couldn't feel anything.
That's crazy.
And then one season, something similar happened. Yeah, it was in Denver again, I believe. And same thing, couldn't feel my hands. And I should have made it through, but I got 31st place out of 30 people advancing. So I got knocked off the bubble. and I got eliminated there too. It's like awful luck every time, but I love
doing
it no matter what.
But you did it, and you keep doing it, and that's amazing. Like, that's cool. Like, I just, I mean, even my prime, I don't know if I could have ever done Ninja Warrior, but I remember when I was like, trying to be in shape and doing weightlifting and stuff like that. But like, that's crazy, and you do it, and you keep going, no matter, even if you like you said, you've had these, the way they've turned out, but then you go back and you do it again, and that's amazing, because how many people the first time they're like, that's it. And to be honest, I'll be honest, that's the thing that I have to work out. That is kind of, and through my previous life and stuff like that, that was it, man. I'm going to try, and then I fail, and then it would just get down on me, and then that was it. And didn't go back. And that's the thing, is that you keep going back, whether you're like smashing your face into things or falling off with frozen fingers. You're like, I'm going back and I'm doing it again. And like, that's amazing. And that right there is very inspirational, right? There were times that I've thought about just quitting podcasting, when my girlfriend passed away, when I saw my numbers weren't going up. I thought, I'm not going to stream anymore. I go, I'm a nobody. And it's like, but I kept coming back. I'm not saying I'm a big person by any means, but like that kind of mentality, I try to get inspired to keep doing it, because obviously I want to be successful at it. And it's a good attitude to have, is like, no matter what, you're still going to go back. And I'm sure there's people that are going to tell you, like, don't go back. You're not going to win. You keep failing. And you're like, I don't care. And you keep doing it. And I think that's amazing. That says a ton about like the person that you are, that you keep going back. Now, my question is on that, and you can comment to that if you want. Are you doing it again at some point? Or, and I don't want that to imply that now you're quitting. I just meant, you've done it five times, and 5 times in a row you went back after all these things. So you're very resilient, is what I meant. But I'm just saying, are you kind of like retired from that, or are you going to go again?
I want to keep going, but I also have the expectation that like I am getting older. I'm starting to lose that edge, if that makes sense. Like playing video games is starting to become harder for me now. So it's like, I probably will continue, but I know that I'll never be at like my 24-year-old prime when I'm just like ready to do whatever.
Yeah, no, and that makes sense. And like, I hope that question I should have not followed that question right after that. But it's just, but you are very resilient. And even if you did it 5 years in a row and then that was it, you still went back that second, third, fourth, and fifth time and still did it. And even if each one of those were like you didn't finish or whatever happened, you still kept going back. And that's the part I was. So I guess the timing on my question wasn't great. I didn't.
No, you're totally. Man, we're chilling.
Yeah, and then a lot of people can inspire that, and I think that people listening to this will go, God dang, well, if that guy can go back doing that 5 times, whether he was successful or not, why am I sitting here not trying to go back and do this? And and that's why, like, again, why I like to talk to people like that. So that's amazing. That's pretty cool. Where I wanted to ask you, because I know we talked. When we talked in Discord, and you said something about you purchase, is it the Japanese version of games? So I'm going to be very ignorant. I have a broken brain, so I may not put 2 and 2 together very well. Where are you located, and why do you buy, like, okay, I'm going to ask, though, are you in Japan because you buy that, or you just, okay, that's why I wanted to know, because I didn't want to sound dumb by asking you, but I'm like, I'm on the podcast, I'm going to sound dumb. So what, where, tell us as much as you want. I'm not saying give us your home address, but like, where do you live, and like, and then what do you do also, and then like, why do you buy all? Because you told me you mostly buy the Japanese version of games, right? Isn't that what I get right? Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so there's a lot of questions there. So
I know, I kind of threw a bunch because I wanted. I'm sorry. They kind of threw. That way you have stuff to talk about, and you don't always hear me going off.
Yeah, no worries. So yeah, I was raised in Colorado. I currently live in Las Vegas. I'm close to the Strip. That's good enough. The reason I get Japanese video games, and like, you remember the Super Nintendo days, the NES days, all that stuff. There's something called region locks. What that means is you can lock a cartridge to a specific region of a game console. So an American cartridge only works in American consoles, and Japanese games only work on Japanese consoles. And that's a huge deal because, one, many games are only released in certain regions back in the day. So if I wanted to play this awesome rhythm game, like for example Beatmania 2DX, I had to get a Japanese PlayStation 2 and get the Japanese PlayStation disc because they just never released it in America. And you can't put it in an American PS2 disc. It'll lock out and just say, this disc does not work in your region. Why that happens, I'm not going to get into that. That's a lot of politics and just like payment stuff or whatever. But I loved Dance Dance Revolution was my first video game super love. Like the first one that I was like, I fucking got to learn everything about this game. And that turned into a whole thing of learning about, there's a whole Japanese series of rhythm games called Bomani, and they still exist to this day. And one of the games is called Beatmania. It's a DJ simulation kind of game, and they've made over 50 of these in the last 20 years, and they're still making them. It's considered the hardest video game in the world still to date. And most people don't even know how to play it or even how to access it. And it's completely not friendly for most people now because it's so hard. But like, I really love that. And now, if I want games and I want to see the original vision of the directors of the games I like, I gotta get the Japanese version. When you buy like a Nintendo game, whether it's like, I don't know, like Xenoblade Chronicle, or no, let's take a step back. Let's say you're watching Pokemon, the classic. One of the anime characters is bringing out something. It's obviously onigiri, a rice ball treat, and the guy's like, "Hey, you want some donuts?" And I'm like, "That's not what the original director want. I want to know what the original guy who created this, what he intended for the actual audiences." So that's why I kind of like always get stuff from Japan. I want to see the original vision and not the localized, what we think your region will like, if that makes sense.
No, that does make sense, and I don't think a lot of people, or I mean, maybe they do. I didn't know the region lock thing that you were talking about. I just, even growing up, like I've been through the entire evolution of gaming. Yeah, that ages me a little bit, but I call myself seasoned. So, but it was just like, oh, a new game comes out, it goes out everywhere, right? Everybody gets like the same cartridge and puts it in the same system. You don't realize. But then as I grew, I do know that like there's, the IP addresses and you can lock regions and like games release in one region, and I know the things like that and stuff like that. But for the longest time, I didn't know that. But I didn't even realize like a lot of games that you have to get it. This region cartridge only works in this like region, and you have to have this regional system and stuff like that. So I don't even know if like a lot of people, and that's crazy. So I was wondering why, because I remember you had mentioned that, and I was like, and so how do you do that? Like, how do you purchase those games? Like, I don't know if I'm not trying to ask that in like a underhanded way. I just meant like you intentionally get that version of the game because you want that original vision. Like, how does somebody that also wants like a game in that original vision like do that? How do you do that?
I mean, I can't, just for legal reasons, I won't go into too much details. Okay. But the biggest that you should know is like anytime you buy something international, let's say specifically Japan, you're going to have to go through a proxy service. You will be essentially hiring an agent, and their job is to go find whatever you want, and they'll take a commission of the price. So let's say they want something for, or you want something for 10,000 yen, they're going to jack it up 30%, make it like 13,000 yen, and you just pay that off, and they'll just ship it to you as a gift. It's legal. There's nothing wrong with it, but just know that that's the process that you're going to be going through.
Okay, yeah. See, like I said, I didn't want to like try to get like whatever. It was more like, so it's not like I can just go, man, instead of going to GameStop and getting this, I want to go to this site and buy the game that's the Japanese version. I could just go to like, Amazon.com and buy the Japanese version. You literally have to go through a whole different.
Yeah, if you want to do it legally, if you go through Amazon or eBay, they're kind of like trying to skip the agent, or trying to go past the middleman, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And that's just, that's a whole legal issue. I'm not going to get into that, but like,
yeah. So you just still buy them in the normal way, is what was kind of like. You can't just go like, instead of that one, I want this one, and then you can just go to the store and buy that version of it. That's literally okay. Because I do remember like things growing up and like seeing games that like even when they were making games and this is like footage and it was all in Japanese and like the captions were all Japanese and all this stuff, and then they're like not actual what you're gonna see like when you get it. So there's a process that changes it to like when it comes to like a my console or whatever. And so you're kind of buying that version, and then we get this one. So that's what so now it makes like a lot of sense, because I saw that and I go, oh, that's like prototype stuff, and they're like, well, yeah, but this is the version that they have, and it's probably gonna. And I think sometimes there are disclaimers that say like, oh, this is gonna change before official release or whatever, because so that makes sense. So that's cool. So when did you get into gaming? So you're 35. I started when I was 5.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good. I don't know. I remember I was super young. I saw someone playing just classic Super Mario Brothers on NES. I remember playing that for like a day at my uncle's place, but I never played again until my uncle gifted me a Game Boy Pocket with Link's Awakening. I didn't know what the fuck it was. I didn't understand how it worked, but somehow I made it turn on and did the thing, and I just got addicted. So Link's Awakening is kind of like my first childhood game that got me into gaming. Okay. Obviously I just kept on wanting to learn more, but then once I saw Dance Dance Revolution, then it was like, oh, I really like gaming. It's not just this Game Boy.
Yeah. So what's your favorite game? Like of all, like if you had to pick like a favorite game.
I can't.
Okay, give me a few then. Because I can't really. I don't think anybody really can. Even if they say one, there's probably a few others.
Yeah, tons of different genres I like. I think that's a fair way to say it. I love rhythm games, whether it's Beatmania 2DX, Dance Dance Revolution, Dance Rush, My, Tune-Rhythm, any of the Waka, My. Like, I love rhythm games. Another thing I actually enjoy racing games, but not simulation. Oh, that's another thing too. I was one of the top 50 national finalists for GT Academy Season 3, but I got DQ'd because I got 3 wheels off of the track, and they were just like, no, you're too risky. Whatever. I do enjoy kart racing games, though, whether it's like Mario Kart, Sonic All-Stars Racing Transform. I like the more arcade experience, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No.
And then I think there's one other genre. Oh, I like puzzle games, obviously. So like Tetris, Puyo Puyo. I like kind of thinking fast.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It sounds like, because you have like a lot of like because you talk about a lot of rhythm games, and that's like sometimes where I run into problems, because I don't feel like I've ever been extremely coordinated. Even to now, like trying to like do games and like even like Tekken's and Mortal Kombat's, man, it was mash as many buttons as I could and see what happened, and then trying to figure out what I did and die doing that, right? Like just start hitting the buttons again and stuff like that. So like rhythm like games and stuff like that. I tried if this is the same thing, but like Guitar Hero. Yep. I could only play on the first 3 colors. Like the first, I couldn't do 4 or 5. I just I didn't know how to move like my hands. And 2, I just don't know if I were processing things, but I would see the people on expert on all 5 buttons, and I'm like, I can't understand. I'm on 3, and even on then, like when I got like a really good score on, I was like, hell yeah, but that was on 3, and even then I had mistakes. But I couldn't do any more than like the first 3 colors on Guitar Hero. That was my max.
There's a reoccurring joke, because like rhythm games are considered one of the hardest games, and you've seen the difficulty of these things. But the rhythm gamer, like the hardcore ones, we joke that it's the easiest of all video games because it tells you what button to press and when to press it. So what else do you need?
Yeah, but it's
obviously that's not the case.
Yeah, it's not, because like even seeing it is like I get nervous, and sometimes I don't know what finger is going where, and then I'm like, am I hitting the right one? And then I get nervous when a couple come together and then my fingers want to do their own thing, so I'm not, they're not like cooperating with me. And I know that I battled that, just period, not like anything bad happened to me, or anything with the alcohol. It just was like I've never been like super coordinated like that, and then and I think I go into like sometimes like a panic mode almost. So when the buttons start coming a little faster, I forget where my freaking fingers are, right? And I forget what color's below the finger, and I'm staring right at the instructions, and I'm still going like, and then you get the negative noise like you missed it or whatever. But I used to think I was good at Tetris, man, and then I ran into you or heard about you, and then you win in this thing, and I used to be like, oh yeah, I remember one time when I got like 100 and something lines on Tetris, and I thought like, oh, I was a pro. And then and then I see somebody like you, and I'm like, nah, like no, like not even like I don't now. And this isn't a bad thing. This is more a shout out to you and like your amazing skill. But now I look and I'm like, I'm trash at Tetris. Like. Like I was gonna almost do that Tetris tournament, but I think I was practicing then. I think I got sucked into a rivals tournament. Somebody in here knows about that. So I didn't do the Tetris one, and then after, hearing about you and seeing you and stuff like that, I was like, nah, I'm garbage at that game. And I was kind of bragging a little bit too, like, oh yeah, man, I could get on Tetris and I'll kick ass. And I'm like, nope, I won't. But how did you feel about that? Did you watch the tournament, the season 0 where was it Ask Joshi and Kat went?
Yeah. So
that comeback was crazy. Yeah, go ahead. I want to hear it.
Yeah, because like Joshi and I used to work at a former company together, like let's say 5-10 years ago. So he actually saw me playing an old Tetris game called Tetris 99. It's like the Battle Royale Tetris. So when it first came out, he got to watch me play that for like during all my lunch breaks and stuff. So he would just watch me and just kind of learn what like I was doing. So it was just funny. It's kind of like to see him now doing a new venture and seeing him play Tetris. And of course I had to go. I had to watch him. I loved the guy. So it was so awesome to see it. And then when when the matchup was told, I'm like, there's no way Joshi is going to lose this. He's seen what top level is, so he knows what to look for.
Yeah, that was it was pretty cool watching that too.
Then he fucked it up on the first game, and he was just like too scared to do bigger moves, so he kind of just kept clearing lines, playing it safe. And then Kat got lucky and had everything lined up, and she just went. Poof, poof, poof.
Yeah, the comeback was pretty crazy. I was like, holy crap! And then you could tell, and definitely nothing on Kat. She was amazing too. Everybody that's a part of that, they're all amazing. Obviously, they're there for a reason, but you could tell that was that moment. And I like to think we kind of had that one in a tournament too, although I'm nowhere near like pro level. I mean, I could get there maybe, but was you could see the turning point where it was kind of like, okay, now like I'm playing for real or whatever. Like, and then because the next two matches I think were fairly convincing, and again, not even a shot at Kat. She's a pro, she's great. Like everybody that's up there is amazing, but you could see the turning point where. Okay, like wow, that was a great comeback. Because if he had, like you said, not played it kind of safe, he probably would have cleaned that round and then whatever. But that comeback was still freaking epic because she still did it. Shout out to her, regardless of if he didn't make big moves. Like she still made this comeback, and then you could tell like it was almost like our tournament where we were pushing a team. And I think they got surprised at how well we were pushing them. And then it was like a switch got turned on, and then that was, they locked in. And fair enough, because, they worked together. We did too, but they know each other. They were a lot better at the game, I think, than definitely like I was at the time. But you could see kind of like that where it was almost like, oh crap, and then the switch was turned on and locked in. But I think that's just as impressive. But that was pretty cool to see that. And I was like, I wonder if I go and looking at that, I was like, could I have done the comeback, or could I have done the other one where like I locked in and turned around? And then watching you guys, I'm like, I hope to be, and I'm just saying this humbly, like I think I'm good at a lot of games, half as good at that, like, because I thought, oh, Tetris, I can get down on Tetris. And then I watched you guys play it, and I'm like, okay, back to the drawing board. Because I didn't. So I was going to ask you, have you been competing competitively for a while? Because I think that's part of my thing is I am so new. Marvel Rivals back in April, I think it was, of last year, was the first ever, and I know it was even that was an inner Discord one, but the next one was Rivals, but that was the first ever tournament thing that I have ever done in my entire life. I think I've done 6 or 7 in a GGL since, but even still, it's crazy. But have you been like competing in tournaments like for a very long time? And when did you know you wanted to do that? Because for me, it is new, and I didn't know that world like existed the way it does. Right? You look at things differently, and I think you're maybe and correct me if I'm wrong, but like your gameplay and your style and your like stuff kind of changes when it's in that environment, as opposed to, for lack of a better explanation, me sitting at home, drinking a case of beer, playing video games with my buddies and yelling at other players, right? When you play competitively, you change up your whole game style, and even, the drinking and the partying aside and just gaming, period. If you're just gaming normally, then you go in a competitive one, I think your mentality and your gameplay style changes. So yeah, like how did you get, like when did you get into that? And correct me if I'm wrong about that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I actually never been hardcore into competitive gaming. I knew I was good at games, and it didn't really kick off until leaderboards became a thing, like online leaderboards, if that makes sense. I was like back in a little bit above, I wouldn't say, it was probably the GameCube-ish era, GameCube PS2, because that's when websites started being created. Like,
I was on the Gears 3 leaderboards for a little bit, even with,
whether it's like, whether it was Twin Galaxies, Cyberscore.net, people were starting to high score leaderboards, and I kind of got addicted to it. But what really upped me up from like a casual player to someone who's like reaching the top is like not only do you get to play a shit ton of games, but you need to you got to learn from other people. One person is never going to find all the top strats, but if you had 10 people playing, let's say if you're watching 10 people play Tetris, you're going to learn something from all 10 of them, and you could combine that together, and now you're 10 times better. Obviously, the math's not exact, but by watching other people and being able to learn from others, that's how I kind of like accelerated. And I played a lot of games because I just liked them. So it's kind of how I got where I'm at. But I don't play competitively too much. It gets my heart rate a little too high. So that's the nicest way to say. I don't know how to say it. It's kind of like it's just hard to focus when I'm constantly like tensed up, and I don't like being tense. Being chilled and relaxed and just enjoying the moment.
So how did you find the GGL? And do you want to be on like a team, or do you want to do like something else within it? Because you said, I know, like, and since you're not big into competitive, because like I said, I'm new into this whole call it competitive world, and I have my mentality of how I want to compete. Like I don't necessarily need to be like the top leaderboard guy, but I do learn from other people, and I've been taught from other people, and when I have people that even I'm gonna compete against help me, like that's amazing and stuff like that. But what level do you want to like do that? So do you want to be on like a team in the GGL, and like how did you find it? Because I found it scrolling through Facebook, sitting here in this room one day, and then I thought, oh yeah, I'm gonna apply. Why not? Because I love games, and then went from there. So like, how did you find all that?
So I got to produce some of the largest esports shows in the world, whether it's the Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championship 2024 or the Call of Duty World Championship. And when you do these kinds of shows, people talk. You hear stuff. And I started hearing about GGL. I was like, okay, what is this? And I heard about it maybe a little bit while I think I was in Utah. I was trading challenges for a game show. And like, I heard about it. I'm like, oh, you know what? I I love this stuff. Let's just see what they're doing. And then when I found out, it's like, oh, it's not super sweaty gamers doing like the best that they could do. It's 4 likable personalities having a competitive match. And it's not just one game. It's anything goes. I'm like, I've been asking for that for 5 years. But obviously it's really hard to do something like that. I mean, why would Activision, for example, want to do other games like Tony Hawk, or not Tony Hawk, like I don't know, Mario Kart, when they want to promote Call of Duty? So, you know, it has to be from a third-party company. So to hear GGL just pop out like this and doing something, what I thought is a pretty good damn idea, I wanted to know what they're up to. So I'm just kind of like keeping an eye, seeing what they're doing, just being a part of this group, seeing what happens for the future of it.
Yeah, that's kind of why I applied when I heard too about all the different games to retro games, and I'm like, okay, you know what? Like you know, we're not gonna get into my opinion of Call of Duty, whether I'm good or bad at it, but you know, like I am not in any way like a competitive Call of Duty player, but when I heard that it was gonna be like games from like Tetris to this to that, I'm like, you know, I could do that. Like, I could do that. I played games my whole life. There are games that I'm better at than others. You know, games I like, games I don't like, this and that. And yeah, that was one of the cool things, is that one, it was an entertainment league. It had a whole lot of other things. And it wasn't like, you know, for lack of a better term, excuse my expression if I offend anybody, but like a try-hard esports league, right? It was, like you said, it was personalities, it was community. And I like to say it as that we're not, like, esports are people competing against each other. The GGL, I think, and the way that they're laying out is like people competing with each other, right? And like you said, and you know, it's these unique personalities. It's pro gamer to average gamer. It's you know, personality, this and that, and it's like, you know, I like to play this game. I know this game. Oh my God, Tetris, Pac-Man, you know, whatever. And then is Call of Duty. It was an eclectic thing of all that put together that was like, yeah, I mean, I still maybe can't compete at the, you know, I may not be number 1 on the leaderboard for this game, but I can play that game. And, you know, maybe just by, you know, doing it, I might, you know, be able to be a part of it. And that's kind of what drove me to like apply for it too. So yeah, that's cool. And that's kind of how I try to explain it. And hearing you say it that way is, yeah, it's awesome. But do you want to make a team, or are you kind of, you know, like, I don't know if that's putting you on the spot. I'm not saying like, why are you here? It's like, but do you want to compete? Because you talked about just a minute ago that, you know, you get that tensed up and you don't like that feeling. And I think I get the same way, because when I start getting that, that's when I kind of start getting down on myself, and I don't like doing that, because, you know, that's not it. I don't want that to be the personality that everybody sees. I want it to be how everybody knows Cutter, you know, the goofball and then this kind of stuff like that. So do you want to like compete on the team, or? So
I'll say 2 things. Obviously, I'm open to all opportunities. I don't know where my life is going to take me, so I'm open for anything. But on the flip side, I am a busy person. I am doing a lot of stuff. It may not work with my schedule, but there are some things I can't say that I may be doing. We'll leave it as that.
Okay, no, and that's fair. Obviously, I'm not in any way. I just want to talk to you, and you tell me what you can tell me. I was just meaning in general, if like you wanted to be on team, but like, can you tell us, like, because you know, like, I know when you sit in there and like we're in the Discord, and you know, you hop in when I'm in there, and you're doing something, like, what things are you doing? What can you tell us that, like, you're a busy man, clearly, you know, I know you got to get out of here soon enough to go do what you're doing, which I don't 100% even know what you're doing. You're at like some kind of convention, right? But like, what all this stuff do you have going on? Like, what are things that you have going on?
Yeah, I can't discuss a lot of it. A lot of it's under NDA, but I could definitely open up something. So, like, right now, one of my new avenues that I'm doing is I'm creating a new video game. I created my own development company. We've been working on it for the last 3 years, and we're starting to slowly play test it to certain art parts in America. I'm currently at Unquick. Here's my badge for proof. Games Done Quick is a conference where they take some of the best speedrunners in North America and have them beat video games as fast as possible to raise money for charity. They, on average, on their big events, raise between $1 to $4 million per event for the Prevent Cancer Foundation. I don't know too much about it, and we won't go into too many details because this is a working relationship, and I don't want.
No, I appreciate it. I hope my questions aren't intrusive. No, I was just like, hey, dude, what are you doing, bro? Yeah.
Yeah, but we're here. We're showing off our game to these dedicated, super hardcore gamers who like break video games for a living, and we're just seeing what they like, what they dislike. And so I'm in Pittsburgh right now. This place sucks. It's cold.
Oh, I bet.
And like we're showing off the game.
That's pretty amazing.
But what I'm doing on the Discord, usually when I'm on, I usually am working on some other project, like on my computer, and I always try to be active in different communities or different kinds of events, or I always try to remain social. One of the biggest mistakes I made when I was a kid, or not kid, but when I was a teen to adult, was I was always like, I'm just going to do whatever I want. I'm going to make it happen. I don't need you guys. I'm just going to go YOLO, fuck it. And there's that, I forgot the quote, but it's something along the lines of like, you only go as far as the friends that you make. Now it's kind of like, okay, instead of trying to stomp over people and be better than everyone else, you should help raise each other, because the people you hang out with in your circle are likely going to be the ones who are raising you up to be where you want to be.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. But I will say I appreciate you, like, when you do hop in, because it's kind of like sometimes, like when I walk, sometimes I'll pull up TikTok and nobody will come in there. Or sometimes I go on my podcast or my stream and nobody comes in there. But I always think to myself, like, and sometimes I think, no, I'm not gonna go sit in the GGL Discord channel, but I do anyway, because I think maybe it's an open door that somebody walking by goes, I feel like talking to somebody, can walk through, right? And sometimes I'll be in there going like, sigh, but I always feel like even if I sit in there 100 times by myself, I do it because I want it to be like an open window for somebody to come by and go, hey, I'm going to go walk in and see and say what's up. So like, I appreciate when you do come in, and I know that you're busy, but it's cool, right? Because I'm sitting there editing, and then you hop in and, we talk a little bit, but you're obviously doing your stuff. But I do appreciate that you pop in, because like I kind of do it because, I'm part of the community, and also I want it to be like an open door that if somebody sees like, hey, this person's sitting in here, let's go, hey, I will go hang out, because maybe it's somebody that like, is maybe antisocial or is nervous, and then they're like, I just kind of want to talk to someone and hang out. I'm like, oh, hey, there's someone in the Discord, or there's someone there. And so, like, I do that a lot of times, even, whether I'm in a game with people or whatever. So when you hop in, I go, so I appreciate you hopping in. It's cool. And then it got me thinking that, like, oh, I want to ask him. But I also knew, like, you were kind of busy, and, I kind of was like, for me, like I said, you're a legend, you're a celebrity status for me, that, like, I wonder if I ask him if he's going to even say yeah, or if, you know what I mean? Like, not that you would have the mentality of, I'm too good for you, you're just a guy. It was like, I don't know him that well. And, he comes in and hangs out and we talk. Like, I want to know, like, who he is. I want to know more about him, and especially the things that I've seen. I'm like, I want to talk to him. So I finally was like, and I got nervous asking you, honestly, because I thought, is he going to just be like, no, I've got too much going on, and, that's it, which you could have been totally fine doing. I wouldn't have been like, well, screw him. But it was why I was a little nervous, and then I finally was like, you know what, I'm going to ask Curtis. I want to talk to him. I don't know a lot about him, and I want an opportunity for other people who don't to have the same thing. And then you said, yeah, and I was kind of like, afterward, I was like, whoa. I go, this is cool. And immediately I go to my mod, and I'm like, oh my God, I got another person coming on, like, and then she puts this stuff together for me, to put in to say, hey, I'm going live with Curtis from the GGL, and she writes all this really cool stuff that comes up, and then, helps me, like, prepare, because, like I said, I'm not interviewing you, we're just hanging out, talking, and I feel like this is a way that now the next time we're in the Discord, it isn't just two Discord names hanging out, we're like two people I'm not saying we're like best of friends or whatever, but you know what I mean? It's like, and so, yeah, I was a little like, I take it as like, I almost look at you guys in a celebrity status that like, oh my God, is he going to say, yeah, to coming on? And you come on. And then I find these things out that like, oh my God, yeah, really, like you kind of are, right? You, like American Ninja Warrior, you know, working on AGT, everything that you told us that you could tell us. And, you know, you're in Pittsburgh doing this stuff and you've got this game and all this. Like, to me, for somebody, especially like me, that, you know, everything that it's like, wow, like I feel like I'm talking to celebrities at this point. And so, like I said, it takes one person to think you're a legend to be legendary, and you know, take it as a compliment, like accept it, like you know what I mean. Like it's cool. No, I mean, I really appreciate it that you talk to me. So, but yeah, when you come in and hang out, I'm like, oh, I feel like that's cool. You know, he's hanging out. Like that's kind of why I have it here. You know, I'm editing, and then I know that you can't talk a lot, so. When I'm not talking, I'm respecting the fact that I'm going to talk to you and you can't really say anything. But, I do talk sometimes. So when somebody comes in, it's kind of like, oh, cool. Somebody wants to hang out and talk. Like, okay, let me talk, But yeah. It's cool, and I appreciate it. And then and that's why I was like, I need to know more about him. Because he comes in and hangs out, and that's super cool. But I don't want it to be like just two people that are sitting at the, like when you go to an airport and you got to sit in a seat next to somebody else because it's the only seat, and you're by these people that you're just like kind of like waiting for the plane to come in. I don't want it to be like that. I want it to be like, hey, what's up, guys? Like, hey, yeah, you're going to Texas. You know what I mean? Like a little more. So I want the Discord to feel like that. And when you come in, it kind of makes me feel like, oh yeah, hey, I want to know who Curtis is, so I'm not like sitting in an airplane going, hey, Curtis, or hey, guy, So. But yeah, that's cool. I know I forgot what I was going to ask you. But anyway, so when did you join the GGL though? Was it like right at the beginning? Because I think I got in March, like at the beginning, and I didn't realize.
I knew about it a little bit before it got public per se. That kind of public per se. Because I've been hearing about it from other things.
Have you gone to any of the events? Like
I've been to every filming, including episode 0. That was with Soldier Boy. I think that was I've been to all those. I went to the their open house. I got called in for work for some other stuff, so I immediately took the elevator up, and then immediately I was like, oh, I gotta go. Bye.
So the one in June of last year, were you at that one? That was like the debut one or whatever. It was like June.
Yeah.
Were you? Did we meet each other, or you said you?
No, I was on the second floor.
Oh, okay. So I didn't meet you at the event at all or anything.
No.
Damn. Well, that's a bummer. Well, because you're an important person. I get it. I was hoping to have met you.
I didn't throw you down, by the way. I was just in a different location.
No, that's fine. And honestly, the reason I too ask is I don't want you, if we had met, I have a hard time remembering things. Sometimes 5 minutes ago, I actually started asking you a question earlier, and I paused because I couldn't remember what the question was. I just my things just stopped, and I didn't want you to be upset if we had met before, because I keep talking about I don't know Curtis that well, and if we had met, a lot of that is did I meet you? And they're like, yeah, you remember, and then sometimes that will trigger it. So I didn't want you to if we had met, I wanted to make sure, because if you had said yeah, then I would start thinking, and because I don't remember you, and there are a couple other people that remember when I walked in, I was sitting at the table, and I go, oh, of course. So I didn't know if we had met or not. So I'm in the clear, basically.
No, you're fine. To be honest, I work in an industry where I'll get a call sheet of from 100 or from 10 to 300 freelancers I've never met before, and I have to put on a show. And I don't want to be rude, but it's impossible for me to memorize everyone, kind of thing. So yeah. I tend to forget everyone really fast.
Well, no, that makes sense, because I'm sure you're dealing with a lot of people too and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But just make sure when people ask, like, what podcasts, you make sure you don't forget this one.
I'll do my best. I got you.
Okay. I have a technical question for you. Are you
okay?
So I grew up my entire life playing on like controller.
Yes.
Right. Because I honestly never was in a situation, whatever, to have like a really good like gaming PC.
Yeah.
Never did keyboard and mouse, so I was on a controller literally, and this might blow your mind. So I told you I'm 53. I started gaming at 5. I literally was on a controller up until March of last year, and then I had gotten the year before, after when I got home from my liver transplant and stuff, that I got healthy enough, I started gaming again, and I sat there debating. I finally got disability to kick in. I'm on disability and stuff like that. I can't work. I have, whatever, for whatever reasons. And so, I was like sitting there going, okay, well, my parents are like talking to me, like, do something, like get something nice. You went through hell, and did this, whether it was, because of what you did or not, like do something, right? Like go get something you haven't had before. And I was sitting there going like, well, obviously I'm going to save for a future. So I took a little bit and I was contemplating, there's a brand new Xbox and a brand new PlayStation 5 sitting at the freaking Walmart. And I was like going, take me to the Walmart. And then my mom was like, are you sure? And then I thought about it and I go, gaming PC, and then this and that. I go, but I don't know keyboard and mouse. I usually controller anyway. And then I finally said, screw it. I went down and I bought a pre-built, even though I have upgraded it and stuff like that since. But
yeah,
I went and bought myself a PC. Sitting here right now, I could tell you, greatest investment like ever. And I'll get to my question, but greatest investment I had ever made, because I don't even know if we would be sitting and having this conversation, if I would be a streamer or a podcaster. And I use that term lightly, like I'm not really a big name or anything yet. I hope to be, but I wouldn't be streaming and podcasting if I had maybe gone the route of getting those two consoles, right? But up until, and so even that first year, I still used the controller to play all the games on the PC. And then finally in March, I picked up this game, Once Human. And that required mostly, it's like, it would kind of work with a controller, but mouse and keyboard. So I'm like, okay. And I kind of knew how to use the WASD from playing like Warcraft and stuff like that. And so I finally started playing that, and I started going like, wow, I can really use keyboard and mouse. Although once I tried to play Marvel Rivals for the first time, I realized I couldn't. And that's when Blessed stepped in. But up until March of last year, it was controller only. Now, I don't like using a controller. Like, I love using a keyboard and mouse. Like, my question is ultimately going to be, like, what is your preference? Keyboard and mouse and controller. And what do you think? Like, is it harder to learn a controller or harder to learn a keyboard and mouse? But I absolutely love, and I'm still learning on how to be good at games on it. But, like, I'm doing shooters that, like, Battlefield. Never in a million years can I play a game like Battlefield, Gears of War, any of that on keyboard and mouse. Now, all of them. I don't even want to use my controller. Obviously, like, which do you prefer? Because I'm sure you've played on everything too. And what do you think is the hardest or easiest one?
Okay, so this is what I think. Because I have a different kind of opinion on this, because a lot of the video games I like came from arcade games, Dance Dance Revolution, and what that means is they specifically made controllers or arcade cabinets, in purpose with the game. Meaning that, like, the DJ simulation game has buttons like a DJ controller. Whether you're playing some weird Japanese bishi-bashi, whatever game, it has controller. Every controller was different because every game was different. They wanted you to feel that. So, with that being said, games were simplified. There's less buttons, and with that leads me to like controllers more. There's not as many buttons. On a keyboard, you got a 52-button controller, and there's no rhyme or reason why. Why is W the up button? I mean, I guess W stands for win because you're rushing someone, but like it makes no sense. W doesn't help. What like maybe R for reload is cool, but why is space jump? That makes zero sense. So like for me, I'm always about controllers, and usually games that use controllers are a simpler kind of game, and I tend to like those more. And when I say simple, it doesn't necessarily mean like Candy Crush simple. I'm saying like there's a less amount of inputs. Like Tetris only is like up, down, left, right, B, and A. So like, but it's still vastly harder than most games out there. So, I just prefer simpler control methods. So I'm always a controller person.
Okay. No, I mean, and that's what's crazy is I always was made to feel that you were a better gamer on keyboard and mouse, or like as in like the mentality of they were like, I'm better than you because you use a controller and I use a keyboard and mouse, so I'm here and you're like here. And my upgrade to going from controller to keyboard and mouse is strictly I truly feel, and I think there's some people you can ask watch me play, that I am actually better now having switched to like a keyboard and mouse as opposed to like a controller, which, to be fair, I never knew about all the insane amount of tweaking that you can do to a controller for movement and stuff, like, and those are things too that I never was into. It was grab a beer, grab a controller, and let's go play Gears of War, and and this and that, and aiming. I wasn't great at aiming, but I would, stuff like that. So it's funny that like you want to, because I mean, I look up to you as you said you're like a really good gamer, and I absolutely know that you are, and I want like all the tips in the freaking world, please. But it's crazy because me, and again, it's strictly because I feel like I've actually become a better gamer using keyboard and mouse than I did as on a controller. Some of that might have been because of the fact that I never did any of the tweaking. I thought everything was just preset the way it was, and that's how it was. And I have tweaked games, like I was, even when I went to lay down, I messed around on Battlefield on my Xbox, and I actually went in and changed all the controls there, and it was a little better, but I still really like, I feel like I'm cheating on the mouse and keyboard when I'm on my Xbox, like, my bed playing a game, because I'm like, I want to have. So I'll be honest. I did hook up a keyboard and mouse to my Xbox because I really feel like that's where I'm better. Not great, but better. And I think I've become a better gamer. And I go into other games now, and I go, like, I always played a Division. I absolutely love Division 2 on controller, and I thought I was great. I started playing at legendary status on that, or legendary mode on that game, because I got really good at it. But I was like, it was like a whole new game playing on keyboard and mouse, and I feel like I'm even better on keyboard and mouse with it. So that's why I was wondering, because I know you said you're like a really good gamer and stuff like that, which I'm very jealous of. And I think a lot of it is a lot of those reasons that I just said, and my personal life aside, I never tweaked controllers. I never did anything like that. I never learned to aim. I didn't get into competitive gaming, or any of that. Even to where it was more. It was just Gears of War was about chainsawing the other guy, and it was just a brutal game. And it was like, let me try to do the best I can in the game, and that was it. Now I feel like, using this controller and keyboard mouse, I really want to actually get really good at the games, and it does that for me. So it's just kind of funny, right? I was honestly expecting you to go keyboard and mouse, because how many people refer to it that PC is the master race, right? I still don't feel like that way. I just love being on my PC because I love the keyboard and mouse. I love the streaming, and I loved how I feel like my gaming has gotten better because of all of that. But I still don't go like, oh, you play on console, you're inferior. Like, no. Like, you use a controller. No. I just, now when I play games, I ask people, because I want to know if like they're playing on keyboard and mouse too, or if they're playing on controller, and why. Like, is it easier for you, or is it like, because I've had people then go, oh, I just haven't learned keyboard and mouse yet, but I want to. And here I am thinking, like, people make you feel like PC and keyboard and mouse is the master race. But at the end of the day, now having done both, I just know it's a matter of what makes you feel the best that you're the best at and what you're using, right? For you, Cutterdaw's controller, and I can tell you, I was shocked. I thought maybe you would have said keyboard and mouse, because that's what a lot of people are going to tell you. And so I was just curious, like, your feelings on that.
Yeah, you have to remember too. There's like I'm not normally playing Battlefield, Call of Duty,
right?
Those kind of
Yeah, after hearing the games you play, yeah.
Yeah, because like otherwise I'd probably have to move to keyboard and mouse kind of thing, because the mouse has a better what we call DPI, and in other words, the sensitivity of it is better than any kind of analog stick you'll get. We're getting closer. A great example is Splatoon on the Nintendo Switch uses gyroscope to aim, and you could use the right analog. So those quick 360 whips and what you could do with a mouse, you're starting to now be able to do with a controller. But it's still going to be a while until that gyroscope is just as good as a mouse, and it may never reach it or catch up. We don't know.
Right.
But as you said, the kinds of games I play, there's really no reason for a keyboard and mouse. Like the controller does 90% of that.
And that makes sense. I mean, that makes sense. Why, like, I guess why complicate things at that point or whatever? So are you saying that, like, I have a fighting chance against you if we play Battlefield or something like that? Because you say you're a really good gamer, and I feel like I'm finally advancing past being, like, not a good gamer to, like, average to good. I'm far from pro. I'm just being humble. I'm not being, like, down on myself. I'm not the insane level that these people are, or these, like, the speedrunners or people on the top leaderboard. But I feel like I've advanced into being a good gamer, especially in other games. But, like, do you just...
You definitely advance, because I'm not a reflex gamer. I'm not the one who's like, just kind of thing. I'm more of a if I play a shooter, it's got to be tactical. It's got to be like Metal Gear Solid or something like that.
And I
something
like that
where
too.
I can outsmart, outplay you. Not how fast can I see you and fire. I mean, granted, I'm sure everyone's going to hate me, and people are going to be like, well, Counter-Strike is, Counter-Strike's super tactical. And I'm just like, that's still too reactive for me. I want something a little bit slower paced, something more stealth based, something where I feel like I flanked you and properly, like, outsmart, like, checkmated you. Kind of
like
thing.
Splinter Cell, like more tactical games. Like, I love tactical games.
Yeah.
This might surprise you based on, like, a lot of the games that I do play, and I'm going to ask you a question about a recent game just because I want to. But I have never... Sorry, my brain did that thing I told you. I have never in my entire life, and I look at the numbers of players that are playing it and have played it, like, for 20 years. Never in my life did I ever play Counter-Strike 1 or 2. Never. And to this day, I still haven't, because it scares the shit out of me, especially the way that people talk about, like, people on that game. But, like, people for 20, like, have been playing it for, 20-some years? I honestly didn't really know. And maybe it was just kind of like a game that I looked at and I'm like, I'm not going to ever be good at that. I'm going to go play Madden, because for a very long time, I only played sports games. And now I love shooters, Gears of Wars, but I love story, Cyberpunks, Red Dead. I love story games like Detroit Become Human. I love tactical games like Splinter Cell. I love being very tactical even in shooters. Probably another reason why, like I said, we won't get into my overall opinion of why I hate Call of Duty, and it has nothing to do with a skill issue. Let's all be clear. Is it doesn't always have to be that. I like the tacticalness, the outthinking, the sneaking around. Even in games like Ghost Recon, Breakpoint, and Wildlands, there's a lot of the missions are you can either go in hot or you can be very tactical and do more of a stealthy thing. And I love that. Although there are some times where you'll hear me say it a lot when I play games like that I spook the whole place, and it's like, well, it's a good bet the Empire knows I'm here, right? But I try to do, like, tactical and stuff like that. So I get it. So I know that that's not yours, but I get, like, that line of thinking. It's another reason why just the whole, Call of Duty thing, it is what it is. It's there for a reason. But, sometimes that gets really old, right? That multiplayer stuff. But I am absolutely, without a doubt, 1,000% obsessed, and it has moved up the leaderboards of my favorite all-time games inching up there towards Gears of War, am obsessed and love Arc Raiders. Regardless of all this stuff you hear about rats and all that stuff, the game overall is just so awesome, right? It's like nostalgic to kind of the 80s and the 80s adventure movies and stuff. It's it can be tactical because you gotta move through the maps to avoid arcs, the machines, watching out for other players. Like, you don't just run in the door. If you do, you can kiss your ass goodbye, right? Because there's guaranteed somebody might be lurking and stuff like that. And I think you've seen or heard or my very voiced strong opinion of Arc Raiders and how much I love it, and I have tried to recruit people. What about a game like that? Would I ever see you on that? Am I wasting my breath ever trying to recruit you to come play with me on that? Like, what are your feelings on that game overall, and would you ever get it and play it with me?
Yeah, so Arc Raiders, I have not played it yet. It's probably something I will get into at one point, but I won't be able to put a lot of time into it.
Right.
But there's a Japanese game that released almost at the same time as that game, and I'm surprised they're so similar, but it's called Let It Die Inferno. And what that game is, it's very similar to Arc Raiders. It's like you jump into a lobby, and the goal is to get from the top layer of hell and go as deep down as possible. But not only are you fighting, demons and whatnot, you have other people who could fight you and ruin your run as well and steal your stuff. And if you don't extract or take a pod up to the surface, you could lose everything in one run. Nice. And I've spent hours on a run and just gone because I was stupid or hiding in grass, whatever. So it's a very similar game. I would definitely play Arc Raiders, but I don't know when I have time, especially since I'm traveling right now.
Well, if you ever do, and you get it, and you do, keep me in mind, because I would absolutely love to play it with you. I absolutely love that game. I think it's absolutely amazing. So, obviously, you're a busy man. You've got a lot going on, which is amazing. Like, it's very inspirational to me, personally. To even be talking to you, that's amazing. But if you ever do get time and you do get on Arc Raiders, please think of me. I might be sitting there going, I wonder, yeah, I'll play. Like Toji put something in the Discord the other day. He's like, "Who wants to teach me Arc Raiders?" I'm like, me. I literally was like, pick me. So if you ever do, I'm not expecting it. I'm not holding it to you or anything by any means. But I just want to know your feelings about it. And if you do play it, you can look me up. I will run it with you, no problem.
No worries. I'll try to make that happen. No win, but you've seen my schedule. It took us 2 to 3 weeks to just schedule this. So we'll see what happens.
No, and that's cool. And I appreciate that you gave time. I know it's probably getting close to the time that you gotta get down to your thing. So I'll wrap it up. And I hope I didn't take up too much of your time or whatever. But it's amazing that you are a busy man. I think that's cool. I kind of, in a bittersweet way, have the opportunity to have a lot of flexibility. I'm very envious, and I definitely think you're a legend. I look up to you. I'm very inspired by you. You have a good head on your shoulders. Good for you. Even at my age, after everything I've went through and what I'm trying to do, I use people like you as an absolute inspiration. So I really did want to talk to you, so that way, it's more than just this name that you're sitting in a Discord with. So now I know more about you. You know a little something about me more than what you might have heard or whatever. So thank you for talking to me. You're awesome. Keep doing what you're doing. And keep in mind that if you ever want to play Arc Raiders, I'm right here. I hope to see you. Maybe we'll be competing in the GGL. I hope to keep doing this as either, with the GGL people or on my own. And then, I was going to ask you though before you go, do you stream at all?
No, I mean, I used to, but I was a pretty toxic individual back then, so I tried to move past that. If that makes sense.
Okay. To be fair, I used to be pretty bad, but it was because of a certain, additive into my life. Let's be real, not to sob story it, but no. I've definitely gotten away from that. That's why I don't like being in games like Call of Duty, so I get it. But I used to be pretty bad. Now I'm definitely more the co-op, the PvE part. Even in Arc Raiders, man, I like the PvE and the meeting players that are we're friendly, let's work together, over let's go trash on those people and let's get ratted on. Like, so I get it. I totally get it. But go. I know you got to get going. I appreciate it. If there's anything you want to like say in wrapping it up, you can go ahead and take off. I'm just gonna wrap it up over on my Twitch. But if there's anything like you want to say, and then head out and go do your thing, man.
No problem. Thanks for having me. Obviously, for those on the GGL Discord, I can't see. I'm literally on my phone in my freaking hotel just because I had nowhere else to go.
Yeah.
So, yeah, obviously, thank you guys for watching as well. I'm sorry I couldn't give you all the information. Obviously, I'm in a weird scenario where I have different relations and I have to respect that. But I have been talking with GGL. Hopefully, some stuff happens. That's all I can say for now. Excited for it.
That's awesome. We're excited, and I'm excited for you too, man. So good luck in everything that you do. I really look up to you. You're amazing.
No problem. I appreciate that. You guys have a good rest of your night. I'm sorry for bailing on you. I got to get going back.
No, go do your thing, man.
Yeah, cool. I'll catch you guys later. You guys have a good time.
All right, Curtis. Thanks, buddy. All right, guys. That was amazing. Hi, Violet. Hi, CJ. I hope you guys are doing good. What are you guys doing back there? Are you guys looping it up right now? I think they're looping.
Are we what?
I said, are you guys looping it up right now? Because CJ told me that playing Fortnite, you're called loopers.
Yeah. No, we're not looping it up. I'm cooking dinner right now. I just got home.
Oh, so you're kind of gooping it up. This motherfucker with his laundry over. Oops. This guy with his laundry. I'm not sure. You're either holding a child wrapped in a bunch of blankets, or you're
I'm carrying laundry. I'm not looping.
You're not. No, what you should be doing is
up and down the stairs.
You should be gooping.
Huh?
You should be gooping.
I'll loop the goop.
Don't be making that a one-time thing. I will hound you and hunt you down. Ooh.
No, I need to get my battery and my 6 wires.
Yeah, you're gonna need a lot more of that after that, buddy.
Ella was trying to show you her cooking skills.
Yeah, I wanted to see. I just saw some spices.
No, I need to get my 6 wires and 1 battery.
Yep. And then you're gonna need about 10 million other things out of that. We'll get it.
And then I need to get the 3 alloys.
Yep.
See, I remember. I didn't forget.
Good.
Dude, you look like Cutter right now with the hat and glasses.
I am Cutter.
Hi, honey. You don't even recognize your husband sitting here on the podcast? What's wrong with you?
Yep. You're a legend, Violet.
When is my dinner going to be ready? Oh.
I'm blind. I can't see anything.
You're crazy. Since you guys on here, we're still kind of live, so you don't have to tell me anything you don't want to, but how's your daughter doing?
Well, they can't hear us anyways.
No, they can. Buddy.
She's doing great.
I'm on the podcast. They can hear us. It's when when I'm on OBS streaming from my laptop that they can't hear you. So they can hear you.
We don't say anything anyways.
Well, no, I just didn't want you to give any information. Like if you were talking about your daughter,
my
and your
address,
family.
My phone
He
number?
was saying because he asked a personal question.
I asked a personal question. I don't want you to feel like you have to give. Thank you, CJ.
I don't want to answer it now. Jeez.
God, you know what? Take some of that grass burger, and you know what? I'm on my podcast, so I'm not going to say what you can do with it.
I'm making fake chicken wings today.
Double it.
Oh my God.
So yummy.
Yeah, sure. Anyway, but that was cool talking to him. I didn't know a lot about him, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, he's really cool.
Yeah, Curtis is super cool. When we hung out with him at a dinner with some of the other GGL people at one of the events, he was literally playing Tetris at the table on his laptop.
I was like, dang.
Damn, bro. Like this dinner time, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool. I have the video.
Okay, so I have a question.
I put it in the VC chat when they were talking about it. I was like, he played at dinner. Violet has video proof.
That's
Look,
funny.
CJ talks a lot, interrupting Cutter on his podcast now.
Nobody can interrupt Cutter.
Yeah, I'll talk.
You just did right now?
I'll talk
Not
right
possible.
the hell over you.
Exactly. See, Cutter knows. Me and Cutter just talk over each other. We don't care.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Fuck. We know what's up, and we still get to the same place at the end of the conversation, even though we talk right over each other. Yeah.
That's true. After you circled around it 10 million times.
Yep.
Oh, Violet. God, Cutter, you talk a lot. Hey, hi, I'm Cutter. I'm on a podcast where you talk a lot. My chat has a question for you, Violet.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-oh.
My chat asked, how is your kiddo doing? Dreamy wants to know how your kid's doing, and we all do.
Yeah,
that's
she's
what
doing
I was
great.
asking. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, she's doing great. She went back to school today. So she's like 8 weeks post-op. But yeah, she's not complaining of like any pain or anything. She's just literally playing normal, eating well. Like she's literally normal. She's good. She's good. Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Nice. Can you bring over so we can say hi to her?
Her name is Isla.
I know. Isla.
Okay, Isla, hold on. Do you want to say hi? All right, I'm saying she's being a little bit shy. Do you want to say hi?
That's not what I thought you said. She's being a little bit.
No, she's being shy.
Like
oh my god.
Well, you finished, but the way when you started, you're like she's being a little bit like she was being.
Oh my god.
Isla, don't talk about your daughter like that. God.
Do you want to say hi, Ma?
Hi.
Hi, Isla. How are you?
Good.
How's your belly?
Good.
Good. Well, we were all rooting for you over here at the podcast. I'm Uncle Cutter, and I really root for you. So I'm glad you're doing okay. You're a legend in my book. Okay.
Okay.
All right. You keep going strong. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Anything you want to say to the podcast? You're on the podcast. If there's people listening, if you want to say something important about what you got going on, Isla, what you got going on? Okay. Good. That's good. Sounds like you're busy. Too busy to talk.
Yeah.
Well,
always.
I'm glad you're doing better.
She's just smiling.
She's just smiling. Well, I'm glad she's doing better.
Say hi. Hi.
Hello.
That was
Oh god.
Oh no. Uh-oh.
That's thing one and
That's
thing
another
two.
one.
Together.
Their
This
family
one's
has
hard,
taken
though.
over the podcast.
Do you want
Her
to say
and her
hi?
sister.
Do you want to say hi?
Do you want to say hi on the podcast?
Hi.
Hi.
Celery
They're being all
stream,
crazy now.
Hi, how are you?
Alright, it's okay.
That's freaking funny.
Yeah, they're crazies. Crazies.
Well, I'm glad she's doing. I am glad she's doing better. So that's cool.
Thank you. Just making guacamole right now. What are you eating for dinner, Cutter?
Guacamole already.
Is it almost ready?
Ooh.
Is it almost ready? He said, "Get it done."
What did you say, Cutter?
I said I had lasagna. I already ate. I had lasagna and a salad.
Nice, yummy. That's literally kind of like what I ate today. I had pasta and a salad. You're copying me for lunch. That's what I ate.
I'm not copying you.
Yeah, you are.
Cutter, we're gonna talk after this.
Yeah, we need to talk about your wife. That's what we need to talk about.
She said she was in lunch with somebody, so we gotta talk.
Yeah.
What? Oh yeah, I got free lunch today.
Oh,
That guy.
uh-huh.
That guy.
So that's where you left your debit card. Got it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the one that
No.
I had to go get today.
Yeah.
What?
And then
You didn't remind me either.
And then she didn't
No, that was
understand what
that.
I was trying to imply where her credit card, where her debit card was.
Yeah, no, I saw. Yeah,
I said
no.
you
I
left
don't know.
it.
I didn't understand.
I will tell you this.
I
tell you this because I love and respect CJ and know he kind of chews me out sometimes.
Oh,
but
now I get it. It just clicked.
You just
It just
got
clicked.
it? Wait,
Yes, I
just
was
now?
busy, dude. I was so busy. I was not even thinking about it until I'm like,
What does busy have to do with getting the joke that I was trying to imply without saying it? Because in my head, I
your
thought
brain doesn't work.
CJ's going to hit me with a PG-13 Cutter thing, so I just said club in parentheses, thinking you would understand I meant a strip club.
I was watching.
Yeah, no.
I know
Because
you
when
were.
I'm busy, I'm all over the place. I'm not focused on, I'm just like reading it very like surface level. I'm not trying to decipher codes and stuff like that.
So you just read over me is what you're saying. You just kind of just pass over me is what you're saying, and you give it a glance.
He does the not important.
Yeah,
scrolling.
she's like important, Cutter, not important, get the fuck out.
No. Fun fact though, CJ and I have never been to one either, and we live in Vegas. So.
While that conversation was happening, I was looking for the GIF of "In the club, we're all fam."
Oh my god.
Yeah, she didn't get it. And then even other person, Blackstorm, was like, "Oh, I get what you're saying," and still Violet was like, "Oh, I didn't read it." And I'm like,
no, because I thought you meant like the pub or something, because I left it at the pub.
No, the club in parentheses meant I didn't want to say strip club because one, I know that we have younger people, and two, I know CJ was looming over me like a fucking mod hawk going, I'm going to hit him with the PG-13. He was lurking.
Like a jealous psycho he is.
Look at it as that I respect you, CJ, or I wouldn't give a shit, right? Like, if I make sure to say things the right way, because obviously I'm not trying to be inappropriate, but I wanted to have fun. And when you said you left your card somewhere, I'm like, oh yeah, she left it at the strip club. But I don't want to be like completely whatever, so I'm just going to put in the club and let whoever reads it to inflect, say it without saying it. And then Violet over here literally just didn't get it till 10 seconds ago.
Yep, that's me.
Violet, do you dye your hair black? Is it naturally blonde?
My hair is totally black, and like I said, when I am busy trying to focus on, patient,
I become inconsequential.
Service recovery.
It turns blonde.
Yeah, service recovery. Okay, that's my main focus during the day. Patient care.
So I'm just a scroll faster is what I am.
Yeah, I see Cutter. I'm like, oh shoot.
Yeah, she's like, oh, this is important. Oh, I think I see his name.
She turns the status off real quick.
It's okay. You know what? I can take it.
Boo Boosh is awake.
Boo
Boo is saying I'm too loud right now.
You're getting shushed.
I'm not even that loud.
Okay, to be fair, Violet,
I'm Mexican. I speak loud. Is that my phone?
Yeah, there you go. But I'm Italian. I talk loud too.
You guys, yeah, you do.
She said, "You guys." What do you mean, you guys?
My first boyfriend was Italian, so they were loud.
Huh? Is he here? What do you mean, you guys?
Yeah, no, but what do you mean, you guys?
Italian people. Generally very animated and lively.
So what are you saying?
People.
What you're saying? All Italian people are loud and animated?
Generally, I said generally.
No, it's literally every Italian is loud and very yes.
Talk about your ex-boyfriend some more.
Yeah.
What?
Oh shit! This turned into an intervention. So this ex-boyfriend about you? He was Italian, huh?
What about him? What
was his name?
Well, here we go. She's all red and flustered now.
Why are you getting all flustered over an ex-boyfriend?
Because why are you guys bringing it up?
You brought it up. You literally said my ex-boyfriend was Italian.
Yes, I was just making a point because you said, "How do you know?" And I said, "Because one of my boyfriends is Italian, so that's how I know."
One of your boyfriends.
How many do you have?
So not an ex-boyfriend?
How many boyfriends?
And how many do you have?
Yeah, not an ex anymore, Cutter. You heard that?
She just said one of my boyfriends, not one of my exes.
One. I didn't have them at the same time, you weirdos.
Oh my god! So what did they do?
I didn't.
They come a different day or what?
Oh my god! No.
Flavor of the week is.
Yeah.
I was a boring girlfriend. I was with that one for 5 years.
Oh my! Wow.
Okay, boo-boo.
For 5 years. What was his name?
I know. I was gonna say boring in 5 years. I don't think those go together.
Yeah, you're not bored for 5 years. You're bored for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Or if you're sitting in the DMV, you're bored for 5 hours. But 5 years, no, you're not bored.
Yeah,
for 5 years.
well, obviously he didn't make the cut. So now CJ.
Okay, Violet again.
What?
He did make the cut. For 5 years, he made the cut.
No. Okay, first of all,
not making the cut is going out with CJ going, hey, you're a zero, buddy. You're not good enough for me. Walk the fuck out of the restaurant. That's not making the cut. 5 years? 0%. Violet, 5 years is making the cut. For 5 years.
No. You got to understand. I was 15 when I started and 20 when I ended. My brain was not that well developed, okay?
Is it now?
I mean, I had 5 years.
Hell yeah, it is. I hope it is. I'm taking care of people.
I love how she's trying to dig herself out of the fact that, he didn't make the cut, but she was with him for 5 years.
I dumped him. He didn't make the cut. Bye.
After 5 years, that's not making the cut.
I'm not getting married at 20 years old.
But that's not making the cut. That's just you decided you were over that guy.
Yeah, you don't get drafted to a football team for 5 years and then they say you didn't make the cut.
You don't play on a football team for 5 years and then not make the cut. Right? Not making the cut is you go to a team, you don't make it out of the preseason. That's not making the cut. 5 years is 5 years. Violet, stop. I still want to know.
He was fine.
What was his name?
He cheated on me with this coworker.
Oh man!
Oh
we're
my
getting more
gosh.
deep. What was his name?
His name was Dummy One.
No.
I hear someone crying. I'm coming.
I'm just giving you shit, Violet.
You're fine. I think.
1 second.
I just want to know
one
if
of
his name was like Brad or
One of
something, or
them crying. I can hear them.
No.
Guido or freaking Antonio. I mean, you are Hispanic. You probably wanted to date exotic named people. All right, cool. I just got muted by my on my own podcast. Okay, fuck y'all.
That's what you get. No, I'm just kidding.
You're fine. You guys go do your thing. Go eat your dinner. I was just hanging out because you guys were in here. We're gonna raid out on my podcast channel. Are you guys doing anything tonight? Are you guys going looping tonight, or is it family and dinner and all that good stuff?
Probably family and dinner. I just finished making dinner for CJ, the king, you know. I'm gonna take care of him, the one that made the cut. So we're probably gonna watch some TV.
Nice way to cover.
Yep, you got it.
Tell his sorry ass to start watching Stranger Things from the beginning.
Oh, I don't know. That looks a little bit too sci-fi for me.
Oh,
is it
Violet,
about space?
There's nothing. They're not in space. It's more
Thank
like
God.
It's
I
more
don't like
like
space.
D&D in the 80s.
Oh, okay.
It's
that sounds
fucking
cool.
I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to start watching it and you're going to get hooked. It is one of the best shows ever made.
Supernatural beings, that's what CJ said.
There's some of those in there too. Yes.
Oh God.
It's freaking It's really cool. It's really cool. I think you'll like it.
All
Give it a
right.
shot. Tell CJ to start watching it and then he can talk to me again as my friend.
Here goes CJ.
Yeah, they just came out with like a fake finale of it, and they're coming out.
Yeah, that thing you sent me, dude. That's just internet bullshit. They are coming out with they're coming out with a thing that is going to be the making. It's the making of. So there is one more like episode, but it's the making of the show. But yeah, CJ sent that to me, and I'm like, bruh. Bruh, I would know about an episode 9, and trust me.
Oh yeah.
But then he's like, I've never seen it, and I'm like, I don't even know who you are. Like, who's fucking Instagramming me right now? I don't know who you are.
Funny.
But definitely check it out. But go do your dinner, you guys. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for coming in and hanging out on the podcast. I hope you guys liked it. I hope I did good. It was really cool talking. Curtis is a cool guy. So I'm gonna.
You just talked a lot. He said.
Yeah.
What?
I said you probably just thought he talked a lot, but it was fine.
No, you guys did. I think you guys are good.
I know that's gonna be our assessment every time. Well, this first number 1, you talked a lot, but
you talk a lot, and I'm 0%.
Oh God.
That's gonna be the rest of our lives, DJ.
Yep.
When you stop talking, Cutter, that will be a problem.
That would be a problem.
Yeah, that would mean something's wrong. We need the talking.
Okay, I'll take that. I'll take that.
Talking.
That means a lot because you're not wrong. If I shut down, you'll know something serious is going on.
Exactly.
So, all right. Well, you guys go do your dinner. Take off. I love you guys. Thanks for hanging out.
Thanks, Cutter.
We'll be looping and gooping soon.
Yes. On my birthday on Sunday.
Yeah. Oh, it is your birthday? Oh, that's awesome.
Yes, on Sunday. Yeah.
You're invited. That alone would have got me to do the Fortnite with you guys, but because I enjoy with you guys, I'm going to be there anyway.
Oh,
so just tell him that every week.
Yeah, it's my birthday every week.
You just be like, Cutter, it's my birthday today. Like we're doing Fortnite.
And yeah,
I'm turning 200 today.
So now he's making fun of the fact that I went through hell and lost half of my brain capacity, and then I'll forget about it. So okay,
we have to use it to our advantage.
There, you might as well, right? You might as well. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. So, all right, guys, go take off. I'm gonna raid out.
All right,
bye.
All right, later.
We'll talk We'll talk.
Okay, bud.
Yeah, bye.
All right, guys. All right, chat. We're gonna raid out. We're gonna go see Miss Phoenix, and then I'm gonna take a break. And I was gonna. Maybe we'll go finish let's go watch the finale. I was gonna start Arc Raiders because Queen wanted to play, but then she said it was gonna be too late for her. So. Well, we'll watch the season finale of Penguin, and then I'm going to fire up some Arc Raiders and play with Josh or Gemini or Tyler or maybe Money. Who knows? That was cool. I would love to do that again. I had a good time. So let's go right out. I'm gonna raid out, and then I'll bounce out of here. Then we'll stop the stream, and then we'll be back.